I want to welcome everyone to the August 7th, 2018 Agenda Committee meeting. Please give your attention to the emergency evacuation procedures.
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is locked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you reach the building, follow the signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others around you and of emergency vehicles.
Committee will come to order. Have all members present signed into the meeting?
Mr. Chairman, you have 18 members present and 3 members absent. Commissioners Allen, King, and Monroe are absent.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We do have a quorum. Commissioner Allen called. He has a work conflict. Commissioner Monroe called. She has a personal issue that came up. At this time, the chair will stand for a motion to set the agenda.
Second.
Commissioner Carter moves. Commissioner Bennett seconds. The members ready for the question, please vote yes, set the agenda, but no, not set the agenda. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
The agenda is set. Next item on the agenda, excuse me. Next item on the agenda is item B, public input on items on tonight's agenda. Anyone wish to speak on any item, please come forward, sir. State your name, what district you're in, and the item on the agenda you wish to speak on.
Yes, sir. My name is Kent Johnson, District 6. And I'd like to speak on the setting of public hearing and resolution of the Blount County Legislative Body to revise the Blount County Ordinance definitions for indoor and outdoor shooting ranges. I'd like for you to really consider this. I know it can be confusing when you look at it. What it really comes down to is making it safer. Right now, the way it's written, if you improve your property, if you're a private person shooting on your own property and you improve it, you can technically, I'm sorry, maybe we back up more. Give me a closer. I have a big voice, so I'm sorry. I'm usually worried about blowing people out. If you improve your property to make it safer to shoot, right now the language is very vague and it says that you could be considered a commercial shooting range. And it's very similar to baby-proofing your house and someone considering you a commercial daycare. And that's really, if you look through it the way that the resolution is coming forward, I would really appreciate your consideration and looking at it carefully and understanding all that's really happening on this is there's an attempt to make everything safer and actually to a lesser extent even reduce noise volume. The noise volume from people shooting. It's a simple thing, but it makes it a lot safer for people to shoot. It encourages people to be safer when they shoot, and it more clearly defines the difference between a commercial gun range and someone who happens to be shooting on their own property for whatever reason. Do you all have any questions about my comments?
We don't do questions, we just listen to your comments.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Thank
sir.
you.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for your time. I said also, I have a very large family. I have over 50 family members that allowed me to speak for them today. And if you ever need a list of those names that live in your district, feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to work with you in the way I can. Thank you for your help. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wish to speak on any item on tonight's agenda? Anyone else wish to speak on any item on tonight's agenda? Seeing no hands, we'll move to the next item. The next item is, Chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda minutes from July 10th, 2018.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Commissioner Bennett moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lewis. The members ready for the question? Please vote yes to approve the minutes, no not to approve. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
The minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. Chair will stand for a motion to forward the consent calendar to the commission. Commissioner French moves. Commissioner Lewis seconds. Discussion.
Yes, Chairman.
Hold on. I'm having to learn this as we go along here, so. Yeah, I'm trying to move this thing. There we go. Commissioner Stinnett, you recognize, sir.
Yes, sir, Chairman. Could we possibly just do 1 through 13 together as a group? Thank you, sir.
It all goes together.
Commissioner, did you restate? You want to move item 1 through 13?
Yes, sir. All
Uh,
the resolution on our votes this is their last agenda meeting.
Okay. Isn't 14, 15, 16, all of those are already on the consent calendar, Commissioner.
You want to look at me, I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay, sir. You can, I was a little confused there. The consent calendar is moving items under from D1 all the way through D16A. So we're moving all of those items to the commission. The members ready for the question? Please vote yes to forward the consent calendar, vote no not to forward. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
There are no unfinished items. Unfinished business. Budget transfer. There is one budget transfer, General County Personnel Payroll Restructure. Chair would stand for a motion to forward to commission.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Bennett moves. Is there a second? Commissioner Carver seconds. Discussion. Seeing no lights, I don't think. The members ready for the question to forward the budget transfer to commission? Please vote yes to forward, vote no not to forward.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
The motion carries. That item is forwarded. Under item F2, there are 4 budget increases. Got item F1A we did. F2A is Resolution 18-08-001, General Purpose School Fund, $150,000, use of fund balance for athletic programs at middle and high schools. The chair will entertain a motion to forward to the commission. Commissioner French moves. Commissioner Bauer seconds. Discussion.
Just a minute. Okay.
Is that correct?
Who made the motion?
Commissioner French.
Okay.
Commissioner Bauer second.
Okay. All right. We're good.
Seeing no lights, members ready for the question to forward Resolution 1808-001, please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
That item will be forwarded to the commission. The next item is Resolution 1808-002. This was forwarded from the Budget Committee. All three items under B need to be forwarded as one. Does everyone understand that?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Bennett moves.
Second.
Commissioner Lewis seconds. This is to forward all three resolutions, 1808-002, 1808-003, and 1808-004 to the commission. Any discussion? Seeing no lights, please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 16 yes votes and 2 no votes.
That motion passes. Those items will be forwarded to the full commission. The next item is Resolution 1808-005, the Highway Capital Fund, $750,000, high priority project. There are two items under C. Those two items need to go as one. It was forwarded from the Budget Committee as one. So the chair would entertain a motion to forward both items.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Lewis,
Second.
Commissioner Cole seconds. Is there discussion? Seeing no lights, please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The next item is D, Resolution 1808-007, General Administration, $33,000. That's AMR fees for the purchase of supplies and equipment for 11 EMS agencies. Chair will entertain a motion to forward to the commission.
So moved.
Commissioner Carver moves. Commissioner French seconds. Is there discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Let me find a right line here. Commissioner Kaler, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll basically re-sum what I said in the Budget Committee earlier in an attempt to provide transparency. I do serve on the committee that decides how the money is divided in regards to the agencies that receive the funding. The 11 agencies, I am an employee of one of the agencies, City of Maryville, that's receiving some of these funds. However, I do not think that it is a conflict of interest due to the fact that this is a purchase that benefits the citizens of the community and not me specifically. So I will be voting on this with the opinion that I have no conflict. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner French, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just need to iterate what Commissioner Kaler said. I too serve on this particular committee, and I also serve on the board of one of these organizations that are going to receive the monies. However, I agree with Mr. Kaler. We're not voting on that item tonight, which is moving it forward to the full commission. And at that time, I will state that there's no conflict of interest because this is for the people of the community, not our organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Seeing no other lights, are the members ready for the question to forward 1808007 to the commission? Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
That motion passes. That item will be forwarded to the commission. There are no other budget items. We have a new communication system up here, and I'm kind of trying to get through this, so bear with me a minute. The next item is F4, the appointments. Chair will entertain a motion to forward to 4A, appointment of Jacqueline Johnson as Blount County Human Resources and Payroll Director to the commission.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second. Commissioner Bennett moves. Commissioner Carver seconds. Is there a discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Bennett, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to point out to the members in support of this going forward that this is yet another example of the mayor and specifically Mr. Vineyard making county government more sleek and efficient in getting rid of a full-time position and making one position out of two. So I commend them for doing that.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion? Seeing no lights, please vote to forward to the commission. Or no?
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
The motion carries. That item will be forwarded. Next item of business is F4 appointment. F4B, Board of Zoning Appeals, Board Member Stan Hedrick. It's a reappointment. Chair will entertain a motion to forward the reappointment of Stan Hedrick. Commissioner Farmer moves. Commissioner Robbins seconds. Is there a discussion? Seeing no lights, please vote to forward to the commission.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
That motion carries. The item will be forwarded. Next item of business is F5. Chair will entertain a motion to forward Resolution 18-08-027, a resolution to transfer real property to Great Smoky Mountains Heritage Center Incorporated to the full commission.
So moved.
Commissioner Carver moves. Commissioner Bennett seconds. Is there discussion? Seeing no lights, it is moved and seconded to forward 18-08-027 to the commission. Please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
The motion carries. That item will be forwarded to the full commission. Next item of business is F6. Chair will entertain a motion to forward Resolution 18-08-028, a resolution of the Blount County Corrections Partnership regarding recommendation of the Community Justice Initiative Program options for Blount County, Tennessee, to the full commission. Commissioner Stinnett moves. Is there a second? Second. Commissioner Bennett? No.
Melton,
Who was that?
Commissioner Melton.
Commissioner Melton? If you would,
I'll get it.
you get it, okay.
Got it.
Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, it is moved and seconded forward Resolution 18-08-028 to the commission. Please vote yes to forward, no not.
Commissioner French, do you wish to vote? That's okay. Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes and 1 no vote.
That motion carries. The item will be forwarded. Next item of business is F7. The chair will entertain a motion to forward to the full commission Resolution 18-08-029, a resolution from the Blount County Corrections Partnership regarding continuation of housing federal inmates in the Blount County Detention Center.
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Hold on. Commissioner Stennett, if you would back out Mr. Kaler, Commissioner Kaler. Commissioner Kaler moves.
Stennett, second.
And Commissioner French seconds. That's what I've got showing here. So
Okay, we got
we'll
it.
go with that. Okay, is there any discussion? Seeing no lights, it is moved and seconded to forward Resolution 18-08-029 to the commission. Members ready for the question, please vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 17 yes votes and 1 no vote.
That motion carries. The item will be forwarded to the commission. The next item of business is F8. The chair will entertain a motion to forward to the commission Resolution 18-08-030, resolution from the Blount County Corrections Partnership to disband the committee upon fulfillment of responsibility.
Mr. Chairman, I would move this forward, but I would like it combined with Resolution 18-08-031, because 031 does disband the committee and the creation of the new one.
Second.
You want to combine 18-08-030, 18-08-031, Commissioner?
Yes, and actually, I would like to just get rid of 030, because in Resolution 18-08-031, it does call for the disbanding of the current corrections partnership. So, in essence, does what 30 is asking to do, as well as creates the new committee. So I don't think we need both.
The problem with that is that item is on the agenda now, and
Well,
we
we
need to
combine
deal
them
with
and
it.
then one resolution can go forward.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, that's what I'd like.
So you want to do item number F8, F9, and F10?
Not 10.
No, not 10?
You want to put that 10 in, win it, I'm quitting.
I just want to clarify your motion, sir.
8 and 9.
8 and 9.
Yeah, 8 and 9.
18, the motion is by Commissioner Bennett is to forward resolution number 18-08-030 and resolution number 18-08-031. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Carver seconds. Is there discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner
Bennett, you recognize, sir.
In Resolution 18-08-031, Section 3 calls for the creation of the committee and names the members to be a part of that committee. And in the original resolution, it was listed as General Sessions Judge Mike Gallegos. I talked to Judge Gallegos and to Judge Brewer, and because this committee will be talking about courts and programs and such in the potential transition facility and in the jail, both of them agreed that it would be better for presiding General Sessions Judge Brewer to be on this committee instead of Judge Gallegos. So I would ask that we change this as it goes forward to make that, and I have submitted that to the court clerk's office, to the county clerk's office too, for the new resolution if the committee so agrees. So we're taking out Judge Gallegos and putting on Judge Brewer.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other discussion? The motion is to forward Resolution 18-08-030 and Resolution 18-08-031 to the Commission. Members ready? As amended. Thank you. Members ready for the question? Please vote to forward those items.
Chairman. There are 17 yes votes and 1 no vote.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item of business is F10. The Chair will entertain a motion to forward to the Commission Resolution 18-08-032, a resolution adopting a plan of reapportionment that reduces the number of members of the Board of County Commissioners of Blount County, Tennessee by 1 per county commission district, thereby establishing a county commission composed of a total of 11 members.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Bennett moves. Commissioner Cole seconds. Is there discussion? Okay. Commissioner Crowe, you're recognized, sir.
Should I let Bennett go first because he's the sponsor of the motion?
I'm fine with the floor going to Commissioner Crowe first.
5 years ago, well, first off, I thought about this long and hard. And 5 years ago, I would sponsor this resolution because it sounds like it would be so much more efficient. But if you get down to it, a dictatorship is the most efficient government. So if a democracy is the sum of the intelligence of the body, if the democracy is the sum of the people sitting on this commission, and you cut that commission in half, you lose half your knowledge. Now, I sat on this commission, and one of the good things that sometimes I disagree with and get frustrated about is there's 21 very different people sitting on this commission. There's some that know a lot about local government. There's some that knows a lot about fire department. There's some that know a lot about business. There's some that know a lot about farming. We've got great representation for the people on this commission. And I would think that it would hurt the people of Blount County if you quit giving them adequate representation to make that body smaller. Yeah, it's more efficient, but it only takes 6 people and they have control of this county's government. So I appreciate the sponsor's intention. I would have done it 5 years ago, but after serving on this, I have decided that no, I don't think it's best for all people to reduce this commission. And one more thing I have to confess. After sitting on this commission and going through tax raises and trying to do the right thing and making these decisions, sometimes I'm not sure I'm right. I do my best, but sometimes I'm not sure I'm right. I'm glad that there's 20 other people helping to make this decision and to bear this load. When you start putting it on a small group, then they have more power and it changes things. So I rise in opposition to this good intentioned resolution.
Thank you, Commissioner Crowe. Commissioner Robbins, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to hear from one of the well, I guess we only have one sponsor here, but you know, kind of the train of thought behind, you know, obviously we'd be saving a little bit of money, but, you know, kind of the reasoning behind whether or not that's worth it in the loss of representation.
Are you asking a question, sir?
Yes.
You can ask your question to the chair, and then I'll ask the sponsor.
I would just like to hear the train of thought behind this, just generally speaking.
Thank you. Commissioner Bennett, I'm going to recognize you, sir. You're a sponsor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Commissioner Crowe first, very good points. I respect completely your opinion, but I also disagree with it. So I have supported this since I became part of county government in 1999, and let me tell you the points as to why. And I also made a commitment to my constituents when I ran that I would do my best to make for a smaller, more efficient county government. First of all, I firmly believe that 1 commissioner per district creates better representation of the electorate because they have 1 person to hold accountable, not 2. They have 1 voice, they have 1 call, and they have 1 person. And that creates much more accountability of that commissioner to the constituents in his district. It also creates a smaller, more efficient government. I've always supported a smaller, more efficient government. I mentioned earlier what the mayor is doing to reduce the number of employees in government, creating a leaner, sleeker, more efficiently operating government, and this does that. With 11 commissioners, you have an opportunity for the management, the day-to-day managers of this county, to spend more time with them. We, as the body, are the ones that have to make the decisions on the legislative actions of this county. But we work full-time jobs, and this is a part-time job for us, to our constituents, whereas the mayor and the sheriff and the register of deeds and the circuit court clerk and the county clerk and all the department heads, their full-time job is to provide for the management of the county government. And there's no possible way with 21 people up here that we can get all of the information from those decision makers to make an informed decision. And thus with 11, I believe you create, again, more accountability, as each of those members has a better opportunity to spend time with the finance director and spend time with the mayor and spend time with the sheriff and spend time with the planning director, so that we can make those informed decisions on the items that are on our agenda. And of course, it is less cost to the taxpayers under my resolution, and I've always supported giving as much back to the taxpayers of this community as I can. So at the end of the day, the reason that I brought this forward is because, number one, I believe wholeheartedly in it. I believe if you ask the majority of the people in this county, they would support this. And I'm for smaller government, better decision-making, and ultimately creating an opportunity for this county for years to come to be in a position to make the right decisions.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Farmer, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. That was quite a soliloquy there, Commissioner Bennett. I don't agree with 90% of what you said, though. In 2000, I'm right on top of it, guys. In 2020, there will be a census. At that point in time, we will have to readjust the districts and everything else. I don't think it's right in the very last meeting of this commission for this to even be on the agenda. If the next commission chooses to handle this, let them do it after the 2020 census. In 2010, we looked at it. You're well aware that we looked at it in 2010, considered at that point in time. It got voted down. I don't necessarily agree that 21 is too many. At the onset, I'll agree with Commissioner Crowe. I did. But there again, too, look at last month. We had a difficult time getting anything passed because we had members missing. Also, the way the districts are currently drawn, it is conceivable that one municipality could control this commission. That can't happen. That shouldn't happen. If the next commission chooses to cut the number to 9, 10, 11, whatever they want to cut it to, that's up to them. I don't think it's right for us to do it as our exit. So I stand in opposition.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Daly, you're recognized, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I absolutely agree with Commissioner Farmer. And because we do a lot of things in the government according to the rules of the democracy, if we reduce this down to 11, then, as someone else said, that means that 6 people have the power. It would be much easier to stack the deck with 11 commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner French, you're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wish I'd pushed my button first, because Commissioner Farmer and Commissioner Crowe have touched on quite a few points that I spent the better part of yesterday evening and all of this morning working, looking at this resolution. I will try not to touch on the points they made. I will touch on the first point Commissioner Crowe made. I would not feel good about turning the complete business of this county over to 6 individuals. You have 11 commissioners, the majority, 6 people are going to control everything that goes on in this county. I'm sorry, but that to me is not representation. Now, the points that were made by Commissioner Farmer and Commissioner Crowe, I agree with. However, I would like to bring out a few more points. This commission has created 19 authorities, boards, committees, and commissions that we're responsible for representing. Now, that's 19. On those 19 positions, on those 19 boards and committees, there are 65 commissioner positions on those. 65. If you cut the commission down to 11, then each commissioner is going to be responsible for at least 6 positions. Now, we have 21 commissioners right now. Do you know how many commissioners serve on 6 committees? 3. Now, let's compare apples to apples. We've got 21 commissioners, 65 positions. You know how that would be 3 commission positions each. Do you know how many commissioners serve on 3 committees? Less than 50%. So how in the world do you think that 11 commissioners are going to fill those 65 positions? And the next thing I'd like to address is savings to the county. Folks, you're going to double the workload of 11 commissioners if you cut it down to 11. Yet you want them to do their work for the same compensation they're receiving now? I'm sorry, but boy, you're going to get an uproar there, I can tell you that. And finally, I feel like I'm proud. I've been on this commission several terms, and I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish in the last, I haven't been on it this long, but 30, 35 years. I'm proud of what this commission has done for Blount County. It has moved Blount County into the forefront of the counties in this state. I consider us one of the top counties in the state, and we've been able to do that with 21 commissioners. I pale to think what 6 commissioners could do to the work that this commission has done for the last 30 years. So for that matter, I rise in opposition to this resolution also. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Miller, you are recognized, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I also am opposed to this resolution. I believe in smaller government, and unfortunately, the way the county is constructed at this time, it'd be too much of an empire, too much of a tyranny with 11 commissioners. I agree with Mr. Chairman, I agree with Mr. Farmer and Ms. Staley, their comments they made. I don't believe it's the responsibility of this commission as we're going out of office to make this decision, and I believe that the 2020 census that's coming up will make a big difference. And there is a lot of work. I don't believe this job is not a part-time job. If you want to do this job correctly, it is a full-time job to stay on top of every single issue that concerns every single citizen in this county. It's been a privilege to serve, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Akerd, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
For the
Chairman.
first time.
I like what I've heard from Commissioner Crowe and
Commissioner French and Commissioner Farmer and Commissioner Miller. I am definitely someone that likes small government, but I'm very concerned with 6 parties representing the power structure of Blount County. I believe that it would potentially cost us a whole lot more money than what the salaries for a full board of 21 commissioners. I have been told that there has been another county that has been denied their request to alter their structure prior to the 2020 census, so it may all well be a moot point anyway. But having dealt with emails and calls and requests from constituents both inside and outside my district, and hearing reports, whether they be accurate or inaccurate, I'm not making a position there, but hearing reports that they didn't get answers from other people, I really like the idea of there being 21 people up here that have the opportunity to hear from people that are inside and outside their district that want to contact them and to represent them. It would be much easier to stack the deck with an agenda with a smaller number of people. And I think that's inappropriate for us to do. I can't support this. I like the idea of the smaller expense and the smaller government, but I don't like the idea of the representation of the constituents in Blount County being reduced. If we're going to try to cut it, we need to cut it somewhere else than the representation of the people. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Robbins, you're recognized for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I forgot something my first time around. What would happen in a situation that would require a 2/3 vote? Would that be rounded up? Because if so, then 3 commissioners would have the power to kill anything that required a 2/3 vote.
That would be correct. Commissioner Bennett, you recognize, sir, for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be very brief. Again, this is about something that I very much believe in. I appreciate the comments of everyone that disagrees, and most of you are good friends of mine, and we can agree to disagree, and we'll go have a beer later. But here's the last 2 points that I'll make. First of all, this position is not about control. I've heard a lot of discussion about 6 people being in control. This is about giving to the people of this county. And I believe that the electorate of this county are much, much smarter than we give them credit, and they're not going to allow for it. And they're going to see that good people are elected to positions. There's 21 good people elected here, and there'll be 11 good people if this passes. And the last thing I would say is I'm a firm believer that there's way too many committees. I believe the good Lord created a committee to give us a horse, and we got a mule. So there's too many committees, and we should look at those and reduce those and combine those to, again, create the best, most efficient government for the citizens of Blount County. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Seeing no more lights, are the members ready for the question? It is moved and seconded to forward Resolution 18-08032 to the Commission. Please vote yes to forward and vote no not to forward.
Mr. Chairman, there are 2 yes votes. 2 yes votes and 16 no votes.
That motion fails. The next item of business is item F11. The chair will entertain a motion to set a public hearing for September 11, 2018 at 6 p.m. Well, where I'm getting all the feeling. Commissioner Robbins moves. Commissioner Farmer seconds. Is there discussion? I'm not sure what that is. September 11th, 2018 at 6 o'clock p.m. Commissioner Daly, you are recognized, ma'am.
I would like some clarification on one part of this before I vote. Could I ask
Yes, ask
Commissioner-
your question, please. Ask the chair.
Okay, it's on the resolution on page 6, and it's repeated several times.
Commissioner, this is just to set a public hearing.
I know that. It says that for indoor and outdoor, commercial does not include occasional not-for-profit charitable events, commonly called turkey shoots. So what does that mean? If you do a turkey shoot, you're not a commercial?
Commissioner Farmer, you are recognized, sir. He's having a senior moment.
I started to talk and swallowed my mint. This was brought up many years ago, Commissioner Daly, in the Planning Commission, and I'm going to answer for our county planner because he wasn't here when we went over it. At the time it was brought up, there were a lot of churches having benefit turkey shoots. That's why that was put in there, Miss Daly, to clarify that it was not a commercial thing, because the churches were having benefit turkey shoots. You had a couple of the local organizations, for instance, Chilhai View, they were having a turkey shoot. Several other places were having them. That's why that was added in, that was not considered commercial, ma'am.
There we
Now,
go.
Commissioner Daly, I think I got you.
So a commercial shooting range can have a turkey shoot, but they still have to abide by the rules. Is that what we're saying? Okay.
That is correct.
You good with that, sir? Okay.
Is there any other discussion? The motion is to forward the setting of the public hearing for September 11, 2018 at 6 p.m., room 430. What's that? I don't know. Those zingers. When I'm getting all this feedback.
Yours is on. Yours is
I
on.
know, but I'm wondering why I'm getting all the feedback. Okay, is everyone clear on what we're voting on?
No, all of us have ringing ears right now.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what to not do to, I'm trying to figure out what to do to stop it. Okay, the motion is to forward to the commission the setting of a public hearing for September 11, 2018 at 6 o'clock p.m. Okay. Please vote to forward to the commission. Yes or no?
Mr. Chairman, there are 18 yes votes.
That motion carries. It will be forwarded to the commission. Next item is item G, announcements and statements. The regular commission meeting will be August 16th at 7 p.m., Blount County Courthouse, room 430. The oath of office ceremony will be Friday, August 31st at 9 o'clock a.m. in the Blount County Courthouse, room 430, followed by commission orientation. Seeing no other lights.
Public input.
Okay, seeing no other lights, no other announcements, next item is item H, public input on items not on the agenda. Anyone wish to speak on any item not on the agenda? Seeing no hands, that concludes tonight's agenda. If there is no objection, this meeting is adjourned. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned.